Okay, so I admit I didn't make a video for like 12 days or something like that. I'm sorry, I was busy doing like schoolwork and other stuff, including wearing this awesome panda tie, but I am back now. I didn't want to see Smurfs last weekend, so I kind of took one back for myself on that, but I am back now for the rest of April, getting you guys some movie reviews, some movie news recaps, and everything else you could possibly want from the brain of John Hayeck, including this stuff that I've got to drop on you today. So I don't usually do news recap stories unless they're like really significant, so obviously this one is going to be special, and there are two that I want to do that I both thought were special, worth rolling camera, worth talking about. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say in the comment section of this video. Let me know what you think while you're listening to this. So the first news story you guys may have heard is that The Hollywood Reporter has officially said that Fox has found its cable for Deadpool 2. For the past, like, God, I want to say like 4 or 5 months, probably longer than that, Fox has been looking for a white, middle-aged male actor to star as Cable in Deadpool 2. The sequel comes out sometime in 2018, but everybody in Hollywood was in contention for this thing. They said that Brad Pitt came in and screen tested, David Harbour from Stranger Things was the frontrunner, then Michael Shannon was the frontrunner. They had, I'm trying to think of who else, like, there were literally everybody you could possibly imagine was in the running for this thing. I'm trying to think of, like, other names off the top of my head, but, like, honestly, I can't, because if you think of an actor, he was probably in the running to play Cable in Deadpool 2. I think I was in contention at one point. They probably saw my audition tape, and they're like, yeah, he's a little too young, but, like, we'll consider him. We'll break a news story that he's a frontrunner, because every single person I can physically think of was a frontrunner. Pierce Brosnan, they posted a photo of Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, and Pierce Brosnan, and it was like they posted like the Holy Trinity or something like that. We're like, well, okay. But here it is. Hollywood Reporter has officially reported that Josh Brolin is playing Cable in Deadpool 2. Josh Brolin, for those of you who don't know, and like, how can you not? He was in No Country for Old Men. He was in Men in Black 3 as young Tommy Lee Jones. I think he was in W, and he was in, obviously, he's Thanos in the MCU. And it's interesting because Thanos' role in Infinity War is coming up. It's like next year. So I'm interested that they're going to have two Josh Brolin characters in comic book movies, like, basically in the same year. Like, that's fascinating because, I mean, obviously, we've seen Michael Keaton was Batman back in the 80s and 90s, but now in 2017, he's the Vulture. You've seen other things where it's like, like Michael B. Jordan was in Fantastic Four. That didn't really work out, so he's going to be in Black Panther. You've seen a few others. Chris Evans, original Fantastic Four, didn't really work out. Now he's Captain America. But these are two at the exact same time, so I'm fascinated, and I'm curious, because when I heard David Harbour from Stranger Things, he was really good in Stranger Things as the sheriff, but I never felt like he was the overwhelming part of the franchise. Like, I never felt like he was overwhelming Winona Ryder. I didn't feel like he was kind of, outdoing the kids or anything like that. I thought he was the perfect comedic wit that show needed in a supporting role. And I thought that he would have been a really cool fit, because he wouldn't have outshined Ryan Reynolds. He was, like, the perfect kind of comedic talent that you needed for the project, but he wasn't too comedic and too jokey that it would make you feel like kind of eh. So he would have been my runner. Michael Shannon, I thought, was like a really bizarre choice. Like, if you wanted to have, like, Cable, who was like mentally disturbed or something, maybe Michael Shannon's the role for you. Brad Pitt, I would have just seen Brad Pitt on screen. Same with Pierce Brosnan. Stephen Lang was in contention too, and those guys all would have been fine. Josh Brolin's interesting because, unlike Brad Pitt, I don't see Josh Brolin's face when I see Josh Brolin on screen. I do see, like, the character that he's playing. But I know him primarily for dramatic roles. Even in Men in Black 3, which was a comedic movie, he was, like, doing a funny spin on him being serious. So I don't really know if he'll bring, like, that wit that, like, Cable has. I don't know, obviously he can play, like, the grittiness of the role, like, the kind of superhero action-packed part of the role, but I don't know if I necessarily see him with that humor. Josh Brolin's a fantastic actor. Again, No Country for Old Men, just watch the movie and you'll know he's phenomenal. He'll be a great villain next year in Infinity War. That's going to be great. I can't wait for it. But I'm intrigued to see what direction they go with Cable, and I'm wondering if his casting will kind of play into the version of Cable that they do. So again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. That's just my commentary on that casting, because finally we got it after months of waiting. The other casting that's kind of like gone under the radar that people maybe forgot was even happening was for Dumbledore in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them Too, and it was announced yesterday by either Variety, Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, I forget which one announced it, but thank you for breaking it, that Jude Law is playing Albus Dumbledore in the sequel to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and I liked the first Fantastic Beasts. Fantastic Beasts and Deadpool were kind of on the same level for me. Like, I thought they were both, like, neat little treats that I enjoyed as movies. Nothing, like, superb above and beyond or anything like that, but I'm looking forward to seeing more from each of the franchises. I was more curious for the casting of Dumbledore, than kind of anything else going on in this franchise. But, like, I don't really care where the story goes or, like, kind of what it's doing next. I heard it's going to be set in Paris, but Dumbledore was really kind of the key thing I was interested in, because, like, reading the Harry Potter books as I was a kid, him versus Grindelwald in like the 20s and 30s was the thing that like hooked me in Deathly Hallows, and they made mention of that in the films. So who were we gonna get to kind of go toe to toe with Johnny Depp and his like evil, menacing figure that we saw at the end of Fantastic Beasts 1? And Jude Law, I think, is a good choice. So I heard rumors that like they want like Michael Fassbender or like name any other like British actor in his 40s or so. I like that they got Jude Law because again I don't know everything about every actor, every movie that's ever come out, but Jude Law is one of these guys who I can't remember the last movie I saw him in before, like since Hugo in 2011 when he played he was the father in Hugo, and he's one of these guys who him, but his face doesn't like overwhelm you. You don't see Jude Law on screen. He blends into his roles really well, even more so than Josh Brolin, who I just talked about. So I think that Jude Law being a great character actor and being somebody who maybe haven't seen a lot from in a while will give him the edge to play Dumbledore. He's a little bit older too. I want to say he's in like his late 40s maybe, and I think that'll be a good take on Dumbledore. I want to see the beard, and I think that he has like kind of the gruffness that I want to see in a young Dumbledore. So I mean that's just what I think. I'm interested in seeing if they do kind of make him buddy up with Grindelwald at the beginning, or if they're already sworn enemies. Because I could see him going aggressively against Johnny Depp, and I would love to see those two going toe to toe. When you're casting Dumbledore, you're trying to find somebody. I wouldn't be surprised if he screen tested with Johnny Depp, somebody who can go toe to toe with Johnny Depp. And I think Jude Law can absolutely take that. He was great in the Sherlock Holmes movies, really great in Hugo, really great in a lot of the roles that I've seen him in so far. But again, the fact that we haven't seen him in a while, I think makes him a really good call for this movie. But then again, guys, those are just my thoughts on Josh Brolin being cast as Cable and the casting of Jude Law as Albus Dumbledore in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them too. Be sure to let me know what you guys think about both of these stories in the comment section down below. I will be back at you guys tonight with a review of The Fate of the Furious. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of these news breakdowns. I love following movie news, and I thought these were two significant nuggets to break down for you guys. If you want to see more, then there's a chance I will be able to do more with summer coming up. I'll have a lot of more free time. But those are just my thoughts. Again, let me know what you guys think down below, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching.